gotta finish reading this thing. Sue, do you have a copy? Does Sue have a copy of the minutes from the last meeting?
I do.
You do?
Okay.
Okay, good.
Did
Well,
you, did you have,
I downloaded them from the website.
did you have any issues?
Only one, well, just one minor one. Let me go back through. Under the town committee reports and the, the festival committee, and Sandra's there, so she can correct me if I'm wrong. I thought Sandra reported out on that, not me. I could be wrong.
I can't remember. One of us did.
Not sure if it matters.
We can change it. 2 weeks. I'll do it for you. Anything else? No. There you go. All right. Public comment. Is there anybody signed up?
No.
No. All right. Public comment is closed. Select board reports. Karen? Don't have anything. Nothing. Sue?
Just a follow-up from our minutes. I was just curious if it mentioned that Marty was going to check with Sue Hoovler about the health situation.
I have not spoken to her about
Okay.
that.
I know you've been busy, so that was a question I had.
I will be soon though, because we're gonna just talk about the ordinance thing later, which
Okay.
I will be discussing with her as well, so it'll be a package deal.
Okay, very good. Thanks.
All right. The Wi-Fi, so I spoke with the Wi-Fi provider earlier this week, and we brainstormed some options for how to improve the system. Basically, the summary is that the system works in front of the town office and it works in front of the gym, but it has trouble connecting up the road. And so we need to find some better spots for these little widgets that send the signal around. So we'll be talking with a couple of the different building owners to see if we can get permission to relocate some of these little antennas, and then should be good to go. Pretty straightforward. On the gym, so we did a little bit of brainstorming. Sandra, Sue and I, and we'll be reaching out to some people who might know more about how to improve the sound up there, both the technical people who know more about acoustics, and then also the people who might be able to help us with the materials to make that happen. So nothing specific for now, but we've made some progress. Earlier today, the town of Monson was admitted as the newest affiliate town for the Maine Downtown Centers program. I think we're one of 14, I think, towns in the state. And what it means is basically we will get access to their network of advisors and supporters and experts in all things downtowns, how to revitalize economically, how to organize our community. You know, we have a lot of groups in town, the Historical Society, the library, the Narrow Gauge, et cetera, who are all doing a lot of things around the downtown, but basically will be an organization to coordinate a lot of those efforts to ensure that word gets out and we can boost participation in events, et cetera. One exciting piece of that is that the Maine Department of Transportation is represented in this organization, and their community development manager is not only on the board of advisory board of this group, but actually owns land on Lyman Road. And so when we were talking about things that we could do in the downtown area, course, the topic of speeding and safe pedestrian crossings and so on came up, and parking came up. And so they have a number of programs that are actually an excellent fit for what we're trying to do here. Both small immediate things that we can do to slow down traffic in coming through the community, but also the long-term planning things that are on the agenda as well. So he said, everything from if you want to put in a crosswalk to if you want to bury your power lines and redesign the streetscape, they can help us plan for basically anything the community wants to do. And again, this is all led by the community. They don't tell you what to do. They help you plan based on what you're interested in doing. So the idea is that we would work with them to do some planning exercises and get those plans in place. And then that would follow on with funding from state and federal sources. Historically, they've done this as kind of on a one-off basis because there were no fixed programs to support this type of activity. It was really kind of based on the individual communities and the funding that was available. But as a result of the infrastructure bill and then some of the recovery money as well, there are a lot more resources for the Maine Department of Transportation's programs in particular.
Too bad we couldn't get something going pretty soon, because is it this coming summer or the following summer that they're planning to basically do all the work all the way up through to Greenville?
Yeah, so I asked him about that specifically, and he said that the appropriation for that project hasn't been passed yet. So conceptually, yes, it's been approved, but not the money to actually do the project yet, which actually works in our favor because now we have a bit more breathing room to actually get the plans in place. And yeah, the idea would be that we would lump in as many of these projects as possible. So when we come through, we just blow up the downtown ones.
On this side.
So the next step here is basically, like I said, I'd share at the meeting tonight, and we can get a sense of who would be interested in being a part of this, and we'll have a kickoff meeting to do some brainstorming and take it from there. So no specific action item right now, but just wanted to say that they're excited to help us improve our downtown. Otherwise, that's it for me. We'll move into committee reports. Festival committee. Anything from festival committee? No. I keep getting festival and bicentennial mixed up. You would think by now. You'd think by now.
This festival is typically snow roller, and the brochure is available and the posters are up around town, so that's good. It'd be a fun time.
It will be. All right, bicentennial.
Bicentennial, the brochure, the booklets are out. If anybody doesn't have one, there's stacks of them here and there. The booklet came out looking really professional. Great job done by Amelia, so. And they are just about everywhere around town. Did you want one?
Oh, I got
You got one already. And currently the rest of them are still on my porch, but I will get them down here into the Historical Society soon. They're heavy.
Very good. Next is snow roller day. Are we having any fireworks with snow roller day?
No, but there will be a bonfire on a rocket.
Perfect. Beautification.
Sue probably should speak to this. The next activity is something she's arranging with the extension service. Sue, do you have an update on that?
So we have a speaker from the county extension that's going to do a presentation. Sandra, I believe she said March 19th. I'll have to confirm that in my email, but it would be on invasive and native species plants. And we thought that would be a good time to offer that to the community in terms of thinking about gardens and planting and such. So that's going to come up, I'm pretty sure it's mid-March, but we'll get more details out about that. And it's going to be at the Tenny Hill House.
Great, thanks. Well, this roadwork resolution.
Okay, so I have spoken to Chad Davis, and he will be coming to do the rest of the work, things that weren't, excuse me, done properly, will be fixed. So that'll be happening in the spring. Sorry. So, and then the generator update, so I did meet from the Scotticoast Emergency Management people. And they took pictures of the area to determine where would be the best place for the generator. We are competing, Scotticoast County is competing with other counties it's a grant from FEMA actually that is providing the generators. So she submitted everything and we're just now waiting to hear back if we get it or not.
It's like a large Generac or something, or.
Yeah. The property land use ordinance, we had talked about possibly coming up with a new ordinance for property maintenance to resolve some issues that people are having in their neighborhoods, but it came to my attention that in our land use ordinance, it already states that well, specifically household solid waste, all household solid waste must be disposed of in an appropriate time frame. Accumulations on premises are not acceptable. And then it also has a list of things that would be considered a junkyard, as far as things like everything else, household appliances, furniture, scrap and junk lumber, scrap metals, garbage dumps, waste dumps, and to be allowed to have such things on your property, you'd have to have a junkyard permit anyways. So having, found that out, I kind of almost don't feel like we need to have a new ordinance about that because it's already here in our land use ordinance and kind of just needs to be enforced. I personally don't have I can speak to the people myself. I don't mind having a conversation with them about that. Brian has spoken to them a couple of times previously and they were very cooperative and they did get it cleaned up and make efforts to take care of it. Unfortunately, it just goes back to the way it was. It doesn't stay that way. So maybe somebody just needs to, stay on them a little bit. So I just wanted to put that out there that we kind of already have that anyway. So to come up with a new ordinance that, just makes another ordinance, then I don't know what you guys think of that, but that's my thoughts on that.
Always good to start with enforcing the rules you have.
Yep.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, if we can get results from it.
Yeah.
Great, and if not, we have other options.
so as far as what I was saying about talking to Sue Hubler about, I was gonna point this out to her as well and just tell her, because I had told her that we were talking about, getting another ordinance and this and that, and she was kind of happy about that, but I think when she sees this, she's gonna realize, oh, we already have that. So I was gonna show that to her and then just talk to her about if she wanted to make the visit.
And you can get that right on the town site, right?
Oh, yeah, it's right there, and that's where I got this.
Yeah.
So it's right there, and it just seems like it just needs to be enforced, and the people have been cooperative in the past, just not keeping up with it is all, but.
Does it lay out any enforcement action of what can be taken place?
I was told, and I don't have it printed out, but at the end of the ordinance where it talks about enforcement and stuff, it's one of those things that can also be fined $100 a day if you want to. And so there is some language about that, because I asked about that specifically, but I don't have it printed out here, but if we take a look at it, it should be there.
Oh, I hate to say this, but I want what it costs to have an attorney take a look at it to see if in fact we can do something about it. Nothing's ever done,
Probably not much. I mean, if we sent it to the attorney, I'm sure it would take him but a few minutes, probably to just breeze through it and say, yeah, you can do that. But when we've talked about other fines, we would probably have to go to court to get the fines imposed because, we can't just decide, oh, we're gonna fine somebody $100 a day. I was told by the attorney that only the judge can do that, so.
Yeah,
it
I
might-
think that's what we had to do in the past too.
Yeah, so I don't think that, it doesn't sound like it would be much, but we can check it out. And maybe if we talk to the people and say, look, if you don't want to keep it cleaned up, then, we're gonna have to take some kind of action, but we don't wanna do that,
Yeah.
so. And maybe just see where that gets us.
Sounds good.
Okay. So the remote participation policy public hearing, so we were going to put in place a remote participation policy just so that if any of the select board members can't be here in person, that they can chime in remotely and be able to vote on things as if they were here. But before we can vote on that policy, we have to have a public hearing first. So basically, we just need to figure out what day we want to have that. Usually we do these things just prior to a select board meeting, at 5 o'clock or 5:30 or something, so. If everybody's gonna be available for the next one or something, maybe we could plan it for 5 o'clock. February 10th, I believe, is the next meeting.
Yeah, we shouldn't need that much time. Can we do 5:30?
I would
No.
think so. I don't think it would take, usually these are very quick.
Yeah.
It gives people a chance to chime in and ask questions or whatever they want, and have a chance to review the policy if they want to,
Yeah.
which we already have done.
Do we need to have, what notice do we have to have to the public?
The same at just, he would set a week. I mean, if we decide on that date, I can get it posted probably tomorrow or next week, at least a week is plenty sufficient. He told me if you just put it on your website for half a day, that's probably not sufficient, but this will be plenty of time to get a notice up.
No, we should put something at Robinson's in the post office.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, and it'll go on the website and the
Yeah.
Facebook and on the door and, all the normal spots.
Good.
So does February 10th sound good? Does that work for you, Sue? Okay,
Hopefully I will be there in person.
okay, so at 5:30, we like 5:30?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
It's my birthday.
Oh, wow. Somebody should bring cake.
All right, new business, interim CEO appointment. So we obviously have a vacancy right now, but there's still stuff that needs to get done in the meantime. So the idea was to appoint Marty to this position in the interim. And so that way we can still issue permits and whatever other enforcement issues come to light.
Okay.
Thoughts?
No, I'm fine with it.
Sue, thoughts?
No, I am fine with that too, if Marty thinks she can manage everything.
I was just saying earlier, it's the slow time right now, but maybe get the job posted in another month or so.
Right.
And Brian's been super helpful too, so, he's very available to me if I have questions or something, so, no, I don't have a problem.
Then I'll move to appoint Martha Gagnon as code enforcement officer.
I'll let you second that, Marty.
She can.
Oh, she can't. Second. that. We haven't yet approved that.
Yeah, I appreciate your expediency. All right, Lakeshore House liquor license renewal.
Yep, so that is up for renewal. He brought it to me at the 11th hour last meeting and I just spaced it. So we need to get that signed so we can get it in. So let's see if I can even mark the place that needs to be signed.
No changes as to where alcohol's allowed and all that good stuff.
The same, just gotta be renewed.
And we got a bill from the county.
We did. Here it is. So, our portion is $124,144.
How does that compare with last year's thing?
I don't have last year's. I can check it out.
I think it was 121 something. It was 124, 144?
Yeah.
Okay.
121 was last year?
I think that's pretty close.
Okay. Well, their budget went up with the assessments in bill.
Yeah.
That was just paid back in 21 here a little while ago. I just
Yep, they get
remember that
paid in,
figure.
I think it's September.
Yeah, yeah. I thought they might raise it more from an article I read. That's not as bad as I thought it might be.
Yeah, I think the budget went up by a lot, but they have other funding sources, so the assessments don't go up by the
Well,
same
I was
amount.
hoping they'd use some of that money to keep them down.
Yeah.
The percentages they gave, it was gonna be quite a raise.
John, you gotta watch out for the other ways to get you though.
Well, I haven't stumbled onto those ways just yet.
Do we need to vote on anything or we just have to sign it?
I believe we just could sign it.
Maybe next year, Sue. You can sign next year.
Thank you.
When I get all done, Matty, I've got whole pages of stuff I want to come in and go over with you.
Okay.
And some of it I think I'm gonna be okay on, and others I wanna.
Yep.
You may have already picked up on it, but
Okay. Nope, just give me a call and maybe what we'll do is set something up, maybe for a Monday or something when the office is closed.
that's what I was kind of thinking.
Or sometime in the morning when Jade's here too, to take care of people in the
Yeah.
office and answer the phone and stuff.
Anytime, when I get down, I'll get in touch with you and let you know, but
Okay,
I got quite a bit of stuff I wanna go over with you.
all right.
All right, with that, I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
Thanks, everybody.
How did you find this one? It's gonna be interesting.
Dirty.
Stop.